Greetings, fellow Earth travelers. Oblyx here, coming at you today from Project Ozone Lite. How y'all doing today? So, yep, it happened, guys, as it always does. My son came home sick the other day and has been wandering around moaning about not feeling well. And sure enough, as is always the case, he got me sick. So if I sound a little off today, that would be why. Thank you, son. Love you. Remind me to throw him off a cliff later.
Shut up and sit down.
Done a little work. Last time we built all this garbage. This time I've expanded our platform all the way to the end of our passive mob farm. Put a bit of grass in here. And we're going to be using this to craft flowers. Botania flowers specifically. And we're going to automatically convert them into petals. And then automatically convert that into dye. So we're going to have a backlog of all 16 dyes and all 16 petals when it's all said and done. So let's get on with this. First things first, we got to make a flower. A functional flower, as Botania would call it. First, we need to shut that portal up because dang, that's annoying. Now I forget which one it is. Is it that one? Yeah, very good. Alright, so we need to make a flower. So, we need to make this guy, the Jaded Amaranthus. To make this guy, we need a purple, a lime, and a green. Let's go ahead and grab those. So we'll search for petals. I went ahead and converted all of our existing one-high flowers that we had caught by putting the mystical fertilizer on the ground. Into petals. Man, my brain just had a freeze. So that is why we have all those petals in there. And we want, what, a Runa Spring? Is that it? Yep, Runa Spring. So we need one of those. Now we will lose the Runa Spring when we do this crafting. Remember, this when we craft in here, we lose the rune. When we craft in here, if it's part of the crafting, we will get the rune back. So we are going to lose one Runa Spring. My dog is over there making all kind of weird noises. We also need a redstone root. Now, whenever you see a redstone root on any of the crafting recipes for flowers in Botania, that means this flower can be controlled by redstone. If you feed it a redstone signal, it will change its behavior, either turn it on, turn it off, do different things. But that's what the significance of a redstone root is. Like I said, anytime you see that, it means it is redstone controllable. To make the root, we need grass and redstone. Now I already got some grass, knowing we were going to do that. All I did was run over there to our passive mob farm, throw some bone meal on the ground, get some shears and chop it up. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Got a whole bunch. So we're going to need all this, and as with all things, anything you put in this guy always ends up with one last item of a seed. You always have to put in a seed. So there's our seed. I do have a little bit of a baby farm going over here with some wheat, carrots, and stuff to make sure we have plenty of seeds. So let's I'm going to do this the old school way, and I'm just going to dump this right on top. So everything's in there, and you see that it's going to give us the Jaded Amaranthus. And we just need to provide the seed. So drop that bad boy in. And there we go. The Jaded Amaranthus. Now I'm going to pop that guy right where that torch is. And he is already working because he is sucking out of these pools right here. Which we do not want him to do because he's eventually going to shut the portal down. But as you can see, he's creating flowers, which is awesome. We're going to need a way to harvest these flowers. And like I said, we need him not to be drawing from that mana pool there. Let's get our wand. Or if he does draw from that pool, at least have a way to fill it back up. If we mouse over this guy, yeah, you can see which pool he's drawn from. You see how it highlights the pool over there? I can definitely tell which one he's drawn from. So let's set up another pool. Get some living rock. And we're going to drop it probably right there. And I want to bind him to this pool instead. And that should actually shut him off. You know, short of the mana he has left in him, he should not be creating anymore. Now we're going to get a spreader. If I could type properly. And I think one of these old school ones will be fine. I don't think we need the new ones. We are going to put it on that pool right there. And I am going to put it up high so that nothing gets in its way. I'm just going to have it shoot over to that pool right there. And it's instantly starting to get mana. The Jaded Amaranthus should be started again producing. And I don't think he's going to produce out here. I think this last layer of grass is going to stay grass. I think he'll only go out, what is this, 8 blocks? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, he's in a does it in a 9x9. So now we need a way to harvest this. So we've got a way to create the flowers. But right now we're just going to have to come over here and, you know, hit them with our hand. Then this guy will suck it up. Oops, somehow we got a torch in there. Why is that not extracting? Insert. Oh. Yeah. Extract always active. Yet it is not. I'm very confused. Extract on green, always active. Insert on green. Oh. I must have killed an Enderman over here. As you can see, that auto converts, this analog crafter will auto convert the items into petals. And then, well, we'll get into this in a minute. Right now, let's work on getting this stuff harvested. One thing at a time, Oblyx. Let's not get crazy. So now we need a very specialized spreader called a pulse mana spreader. That's just a spreader with a piece of redstone. Easy to make. Why did I grab that instead of this? Good grief. We put that back in there. This torch. Can you put a torch on a side of a chest? No. Okay, well, that's just going to stay dark then. There may be one spawnable space in there, maybe. Anyway, we're going to put this pulse mana spreader right there. Now we need a device called a drum. A brum? We need a brum. We need a drum of the wild, which requires a horn of the wild, which requires pasture seeds and living wood. Pasture seed is just some grass in a mana pool. So let's get some grass. and get our pasture seed. Toss that back in. Go make our horn of the wild. Why haven't you registered? Come on now. There we go. Horn of the wild. And living wood, leather, and a horn of the wild will make our drum of the wild. Done. Now we just want to pop this guy right there. We're going to tell this guy to shoot at the drum. Awesome. Now this, because it has redstone in it, works off of a redstone signal. So we're going to want to go back to our old faithful hourglass, just like we had with our mana production. Oops, we do need some mana glass. So let's get some glass. And toss that in that pool. There we go. Pop that back in there. Let's get our hourglass. Boom. And let's get some sand. I'm thinking 32 should be a good amount. Yeah, you see it has not filled this outside edge yet. So let me turn that into stone. Because this grass is, I mean, it's fine here in the river biome, but over here in the desert it's just ugly. So I may stoneify that. But let's get our hourglass on here. Just pop it right beside it. Fill it with sand, lock it. And every 32 seconds it will, actually, let's, you know what? 32 is such a weird number for seconds. Let's just do 30. And what that's going to do is give this flower enough time to plant all these other flowers. Now we need to turn our magnet off. We do not want our magnet on when we're over here doing this. We do want to make sure this guy is set. So he is set to, let's do a 9 by 9 by 3. That should get everything. And hopefully we get to see this work here. There's the pulse. There's the harvest. And it did not pick up these outside edges. It did pick up everything else. We do see it processing flowers, turning them into petals. You'll see the petals will show up in here and then instantly come down here and get processed into dye. And we'll talk about that here in a second, but you definitely see the dye starting to fill up. Everything had 4, so if it's got more than 4, then that's dye that's been processed off through this procedure here. I do want to expand the radius of this collection just a little bit. Still not reaching. Getting all but one little flower, 2 little flowers right here. So anything that hits right there I can't get. It's just not long enough. Okay, fair enough. And let's see what our backlog looks like. Oh, we are definitely getting a backlog. So the way this guy's working is this flower with mana from this pool is growing these plants. As you can see, they'll just magically pop in. Every 30 seconds, based on this hourglass, it will send a redstone pulse to this spreader. This pulse mana spreader sends a very small burst of mana and strikes that drum. The drum harvests all the plants around it with the exception of the amaranthus and just lays them as items on the ground like you just saw. Just like that. This item collector sucks them up and puts them in this chest. This conduit then extracts on the green channel. This is important, the green channel, and shoots them over here. And it can only insert in places that insert is listed on the green channel. So here we have insert, green channel, going into this analog crafter. This storage drawer controller is on the brown channel insert. That's important. So we can only go to where the green is, which is this analog crafter. This guy does not require any power. He'll just sit here and do whatever crafting he can based on whatever gets thrown into him. Now you can turn on and off the different points in the grid. So if you know whatever you need to craft just uses the outside, not the inside, you turn off the inside and leave the outsides all on. You can also tell it which side to accept items from. So A means accessible from all sides. So anything else is going to be accessible from different areas. So you could have one thing come in one side and one thing come in another side. But the benefit is this guy requires no power. He'll just sit here and work. He's not the fastest in the world, though. So there will be some backup. Hence why we have a gold chest over there. Now, he is, when he finishes his crafting, turning the flowers into petals. You'll see right there. We go back to our conduit and we look at the extract side, and we see that he's extracting on brown. This is important. The brown is important. It can be any other color. It just can't be the same as the green. So then he's pushing to anywhere that is a brown. So this guy is inserting on brown. So that's going into this drawer controller. So he's putting those petals in these drawers here. Now these drawers are locked, so they'll always show the correct petal on the front, even though they have a quantity of 0. Then this conduit is set to extract on green, because it's not connected to the one up here, so it's okay that it's on green. So it'll extract anything it can from this controller, which is all of these petals. And it's going to insert on the green. You can look right here on the side of the conduit and see extract, a down arrow on green and an in arrow on green. And you see brown out and brown in. So if I look here, you'll see insert on green. Going into another analog crafter. Now if you look, this guy has 2 slots that are accessible from all sides. In one of them, he's got a mortar and pestle, or a pestle and mortar. In the other, it's blank, and he'll receive petals. So that's the recipe to turn petals into dye. So just a mortar and pestle and a petal will get you dye. Now, how are we making it so it doesn't pull the mortar and pestle out? Well, we come back over to our conduit, and we go to the extract side. And we see we put a filter set to blacklist the mortar and pestle. And this is on extract brown. So we're on the brown channel. So that'll say you can't pull the mortar and pestle out. It'll just stay in there forever. But anything else, it can pull out. So it'll pull those dyes out and push them down, because this conduit is insert on brown. And it'll push it down into this controller. And as you can see, we're slowly filling up with all the dyes we could possibly want. Now eventually these drawers are going to become full, and the system will back up. But it's going to back up into these drawers. So we'll have both the dye and the petal once the dye drawers get full. So what I want to do is set void upgrades on these petals so that we never have too big of a backup in our system here. Looks like we're collecting pretty darn good. Just for whatever reason, they like to drop off on that, this little strip right there. But they never do over here, which is very peculiar. So might be able to turn this down just a little bit because it seems like we're doing a pretty good job keeping the floor clean. It is important you don't have your magnet on when you're over here because it will suck up. See, I don't know why this one little strip likes to get, but none of the other ones do. Very, very weird. Nope, didn't do it that time. Okay, so let's get some void upgrades in there. See if we have any. I do. Oh, don't tell me those were duplicated. They were. Bummer. Okay. So we'll have to make a few more. Yeah, I don't know why it's that system is duplicating for whatever reason. That's not a good thing. Definitely not a fan. Need to figure that out and make it stop. This would be drawer upgrade void. Need one more of those, please. And you can just right click it and it'll pop it on there, but it pops it in the first slot. I like the void upgrade in the last slot. I'm not going to do emerald upgrades on here. I don't think we need that many. But I've got tons of gold upgrades, so I will do some of those. So we'll put maybe 2 gold upgrades in each one. I think that'll be more than enough for what we want to do. At least for now. We can always change it later. Now I think I will go ahead and put some gold upgrades in these as well. But again, it's important that we don't put the void upgrade on these guys. Because if we did, then you're never going to get backed up with petals. It's always going to convert to die and it'll just void out the excess. Notice these drawers are locked as well, so if I pull out, say, all the black ones, it still shows black and we still have a slot for black. So we'll pop those back in. And that's our setup. So we'll just let this guy run for a while, and he's going to slowly, probably, we did finally get some over here. Look at that. May pop this in by 2. Put stone here and here, and that way you can't put flowers like that one there. And then it won't be an issue with popping them off and being able to collect them in there. I mean, most of the time it's pretty good. I don't think it's going to be a lag issue or anything. It is most definitely backing up. What I may want to do, here's the issue, is the speed at which the analog crafter is crafting. I think maybe if I make 2 more of those guys, pop them on there real quick, that might make a difference. Let's try it real quick. Analog crafter. It's pretty easy to make. We just need some crafting tables and some chests. Oops. You know what? Let me show you. One thing I did find out about our Ender IO warehouse system, you can't do it with this remote tablet. Oh, yes, you can. This wasn't here yesterday. You can store recipes. How cool is that? So a maximum of 6 recipes can be stored. Left-clicking a stored recipe will try to put the items there. So, yeah. I don't know what that just did. But, hey, whatever. Do I not have enough? I didn't see that. I thought you could only do it from this panel. Yesterday it was showing up here. Today it's showing up here as well, which is pretty cool. So you can have 6 stored recipes, which is awesome. Except for now my little plus is gone. Yeah, see, it went away. Weird. So it does appear to be a little bit buggy. It kind of comes and goes. That's probably just something I'm doing, but who knows? Come on, register. There we go. Yep, can still access it there. That's awesome. A little bit of auto crafting available. So let's just pop those there. Need some conduit. We may have to add another analog crafter down here as well. We'll see. So we want, just get up there. Oh, lag, hello. All right, in and out, insert on green, extract on brown, always active. In and out, insert on green, extract on brown, always active. And you know what I forgot was to turn all of these off because I'm not a smart man. Mystical flower cluster. I don't even know what that is. We'll have to figure that out. So let's turn all of these off. There we go. Now it's processing. So this should be getting petals significantly faster. We should actually be getting a backlog. We are. Look at that. 22 brown, 10 green, some light blue. If you're wondering, these are listed in alphabetic order. We should start to see... Yeah, this should be going down now. Awesome. So yeah, I think one more of these is in order with another mortar and pestle. So let's do that real quick. We need one more analog crafter. Get that going. Done. We'll need a conduit. No, we won't. We already have conduit. We will need a filter. Remember, we need to filter out for the mortar and pestle. So we need another chest. Need a hopper. And there's our filter. And we need a mortar and pestle. Which is super easy. There we go. So let's pop this guy here. Set this guy to in and out. In on green, out on brown. With a filter of mortar and pestle. And we want to turn off all the things. There. Now it's not extracting because we haven't got that turned on yet. Extract always. And just put those back up in there. Nice. So now he's processing and he's processing. And we are getting flowers like crazy. So probably what I want to do is eventually come up with a way that when this chest fills up, to turn this off. That's probably a thing we want to do down the road. For right now, I'm going to let it just sit here and run. Awesome. So, unlimited petals for all of our Botania crafting needs. unlimited dies for dyeing anything we want to dye. All the, if we want to dye glass or hardened clay or concrete or whatever, can all be dyed with those dyes. So awesome. And using stuff we already had in place for the most part, we just added a little bit more stuff. But I'm afraid that is all the time I have for today. But as always, I sure do appreciate you guys coming and hanging out with me. It's always fun to hang out with you. And until next time, get out there and make some noise. See ya.